Did. Oh, that's right. I didn't get the light. Okay.
It's Too T3rpd.
Alright. Question number 1. You freestyle?
I haven't in a very, very long time, man.
You gonna go for it?
From beginning to end, you got a new friend, that's me. If you ever wondered how we get down this reality, we flow, we get it, we rock it, we do it. And if you ever suspect, then don't go on and through it.
Hey, yeah, and he did it, cause there ain't nothing to it. If we do it, cause it's the, yeah, you already know I'm done. I be trying to do it every now and then, but you already hit that, so I ain't gonna mess it up. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and end it though. But you already know it's a Too T3rpd podcast, and it's your boy Donovan, aka Mr. You knew what it was when you signed up. Yeah. Okay, so as y'all can see, we not in the studio as we always are. We on location today.
For sure.
As a matter of fact, we in a special place. I've been talking about it the last couple episodes. We at Vintage Gold tonight. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Shout out to Julius.
For sure.
Yeah. And shout out to the crew. They in the back over there working on sketches and all that. It's a Wednesday night, so you already know. It's content night. That's right. That's right. But we got one of the people that hold it down at all times, who really is one of the backbones of Vintage Gold. Let's be real. Whether they serving up the food or, you know, just really helping us and providing us with
adding to the occasion.
Inspiration. That's right. Y'all already know.
Yeah.
Give it up for Puff Family Snacks.
Yes, sir.
Oh. Come on now, you know. We still keep that live audience everywhere we go. Don't get it twisted. You already know. That's right. Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Faded. How you doing tonight? Mr. Fade.
Hey, I feel great. Thankful to be on. Thankful to get an opportunity to go ahead and tell our story.
For sure, man. Yeah, I'm excited. I said we've been able to meet for the last couple months. We've been able to chop it up, and you a solid man.
I try to be, man. I mean, your word is the only thing that you own in this life. You know what I mean? And if you can't be relied upon for that, then you're not relied upon for much at all. And especially in this community, you know, in this cannabis community, is, you know, your word is really all that you have. Once that's broken, you really can't get that back.
That's a fact. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and get started with your origins today.
Well, what's cool is that, you know, my wife and I, we used to attend some cannabis events and realize that some of the events that we enjoyed the most, you know, had plenty of cannabis, but not any food. And, you know, we enjoy good food, but we also were rather naive because we were thinking everyone grew up with good food. I mean, like, good food was everywhere. And the more that we spoke to our friends, the more that we spoke to different people in our community and different people in the cannabis community, good food was missing from events. And we all know, born, bred, raised in St. Louis, good food exists in St. Louis.
That's a fact.
You know, so therefore, you know, our concept was, okay, well, if there is a cannabis event, how about we go ahead and check in with the person running it and see if we can provide food. So then we started providing food downtown at the STL home growers that would occur every weekend.
Yeah.
And did that for a while. We really, really enjoyed that. That was a whole lot of fun. Shout out to Dank Universal Highs, OGXO. They gave us a great opportunity to do snacks down there for a long time.
So shout out.
And we had an opportunity to serve up the people. And I believe that it extended their stay at the event. You know, if your food is taken care of when that munch hits, then what purpose do you really have to leave if everything that you know, enjoy and desire is already there in the first place?
Facts.
You know, so we also had an opportunity to meet a lot of cool vendors, you know, get a lot of good relationships going on. But sadly enough, you know, that winter of 2024, my wife sadly got very sick, and we weren't able to be down at the event on the weekends. And the guys who ran, you know, STL home growers had to make a business decision. I mean, they promised that the people that are coming there, that they're going to be food vendors.
Yes, sir.
So they had to go ahead and switch it up, you know, and you know, we were heartbroken. You know, my wife was, pretty upset just because this is something that she's always wanted to do in regards to events and catering.
Mm-hmm.
So, any man that is truly in love with his wife like I am, I'm not going to, allow her dream to stop.
That's right.
So, I went in prayer and I went to her and I said, well, why do we have to stop? Why don't we just find a place that we can go ahead and do some additional events? So now over the last year, we've been here at Vintage Gold, doing evening events, providing a safe place for people to come, enjoy their cannabis, enjoy different themed events. We've had puff and plays. We've had puff and paints. We've had international jams where we've made jollof rice and fufu.
Ooh, okay. Hold on. Now, what's a puff and play?
A puff and play is where individuals have the opportunity to come in. We have retro gaming. We have dominoes on the table. We've got playing cards on the table, of course, with our logo, Puff Family Snacks on it. And we have a lot of different things for people to get into, chess. I've even brought cornhole in, so we try to provide a place of fun and give adults an opportunity to remember what it is to have fun. And if you enjoy cannabis and are free to go ahead and have an indoor consumption area, then it adds to the experience. And of course, we're always here with great food. A lot of people know us for our tacos, for our nachos, Big Back, shout out. We also have great sliders. And here this past weekend, we had an opportunity to, do an event for Mother's Day under our events and catering brand, Vintage Hill. So a lot of big dreams are happening here for us here at Vintage Gold, for sure.
I love it. That's what's up. So what would you say is the inspiration of the goal of really the magic that behind Vintage Gold, and what keeps you motivated to keep coming through here? Because y'all stay solid and consistent through coming through here, even when on Mondays and for the open mics, and then even on Wednesdays for doing content.
You don't do food unless you have a love for food.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that somebody just throws together if it's something that means something to you. And we've been blessed enough to provide food on Monday night open mic nights, and people have come to expect us, and that feels really good. You know what I mean? I mean, if you don't like someone's food, then trust me, you won't be invited back.
Exactly.
But people keep coming back. We also do a lot of STL Night Vintage Fest. STL Vintage Night Fest, I think it is. And people just remember us. And the thing that we like to do in order to let people know that, Puff Family Snacks is in the house, we wait to cook some of our items, while we're here in order to let that umami smell get through the place.
Okay.
So people know that we're here, what I mean, and that they know to come back here and get their food.
Yeah.
So it's been a real blessing, because you think to yourself, okay, well, it's just food. But you never know how that food affects someone after a long day.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what they've been through.
Yeah.
You never know what they're going through.
That's a fact.
And sometimes, a plate or a container of great food and a good word is just all a person really needs in order to keep going.
Yes.
So we're just really, really thankful, really blessed. And hoping that, folks, kind of take more notice, start coming to some of our events, start enjoying themselves. We got free parking in the back that's like a football field long. We've always got security, and always got great food and great things. Get out of here, fly. Mm-hmm. We've got great things happening here. So, my hope is that people come through.
Yeah. I love it. They definitely gonna start coming through. I mean, they already do come through, but we're gonna get even more people to come through. For sure. I'm really curious about that jollof rice, for real. I'm trying to see what they hit for.
Well, the thing is first and foremost, what I've learned about African cooking is you can't go into it afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to go into it with research and respect.
Yeah.
All of our origins of melanated people go back to Africa. So there's a part of the spirit that already knows what it's about to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we were working on it and we were fixing it, we had looked at videos and the best way to go ahead and do the fufu, and we were hoping it would come out to the right consistency and the jollof rice. But we studied, we respected, we went to the places here in town that we could get you know, what we needed, you know, and shout out to STL for having a really diverse, you know, offering of food and grocery. I mean, you can get most anything you need here. And I remember when I was growing up, the most Mexican you could get was Casa Gallardo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the wings, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Them wings was fire.
Yeah, they were. But you know, it's one of those things where we've had the opportunity to see St. Louis really grow. Yeah. And become a lot more international. And I'm thankful for that, because that put us in a position to not be afraid to do different dishes. You know what I mean? We are a diverse family. You know, my wife is Blasian.
That's what's up.
Therefore, my kids are they're Blasian. So, you know, when it comes down to some of the events we're looking towards this year, we're going to be doing an anime night. Okay. We're going to have a ramen bar.
That's what's up.
No appropriation allowed. But with our tacos and our nachos, because of her grandmother's heritage, you know, and her Latino heritage, then we were able to go ahead and feedback on that. You know, so we actually are in the process of working with our family back in California. You know, our grandmother Nana has gone on to be with the Father, but her enchilada recipe is left back. Okay. So that might also be coming on. Okay. So we're pretty excited about that.
Okay. I like that. That's what I'm talking about.
So it's one of those things where it all kind of started out, you know, down at the SCL home growers, grew into Vintage Gold. And now we're looking at a time where we're able to branch out more. We're able to do private events. We're able to do birthday parties, from Vintage Hill standpoint, you know, that events and catering brand, we do weddings, you know, birthday parties, anniversaries, but Puff Family Snacks, we've also done, you know, private events too. You know, people like the fact that everything that you can want comes in all one package. That's right. You know, and of course, you know, we have most everything that someone would need. You know, we bring our own items, you know, nothing is for sale, but we do enhance the evening. Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's been a really, really great time. Met a lot of great people, made a lot of great relationships, like the one we have with you, you know, and all of the folks that come through here at Vintage Gold, and we're thankful for the opportunity.
Hell yeah, that's a fact, bro. Like, I really want to ask about your growing experience, because that's one thing that we've had a discussion about, is some of the things that you've grown back in the day.
Well, you know, back before it was all legalized, you know, we had to try to make ends meet, you know, and it wasn't something that we could just go to a dispensary and pick up. That's a fact. You know, so I've actually, you know, been cultivating since I was 17, and back then, you know, just a while ago, you know, we had the opportunity to actually cultivate in multiple locations, you know, and be able to get to a point where we were able to, you know, have some pretty prosperous, you know, harvest. You know, seen some pretty wild things. You know, before, you know, I did my most recent operation, which was probably about 7 to 10 years ago. We were using high pressure sodium lamps. And we were working with a strain called Critical Kush. It is a Cannabis Cup winner. And we were concerned because, you know, most times high pressure sodium lamps come with a lot of heat. You got to try to figure that heat out, utilizing fans and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's going to burn them.
Right. Well, what was wild is Critical Kush started growing around the lamp, and its top bud ended up being the size of a football. Yeah. I couldn't even really wrap my head around it until we started cutting it down. And it started out, you know, as about like that. And we just went around the stalk and cut off, because it's basically a group of buds that are formed into a like football size. So we started cutting around, you know, and got about, it was crazy, like about 7 or 8 ounces off of that one cluster. Damn. Had a lot of fun growing, but it's hard work.
Oh yeah, it ain't easy at all. So if you're trying to go quality,
right? If you're gonna give a damn,
yeah.
You know, and I don't do anything without caring about it, because nothing that I do ends up being something only for me.
Yeah, I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to be shared at some point in time. Yeah. So we were thankful we never had to utilize any kind of chemicals or anything like that, even if there were any kind of visitors that would try to get in. You know, you gotta, you know, you don't have a lot when you're doing it indoor. Mm-hmm. But even when you do, sometimes you might have maybe some gnats or something to that effect. We would always choose to work with neem oil.
Okay.
I've had some of my other friends, they've used actually live insects to deal with pests.
Oh, yeah, grasshoppers.
Ladybugs, praying mantis.
I mean, yeah, that's what I meant, praying mantises. Yeah, I'm sorry.
But it's one of those things where, you know, because I'm doing it with my wife and you know, the ladies don't particularly
like the bugs and all of that. See, I like living soil whenever I was growing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm scared of worms, but hey.
And you know what? I've never done living soil. I've always been a hydro guy. You know, I've always been
hydro hard as hell.
It is. You got to check that pH. And St. Louis has really acidic water. But the way to get around it is just go ahead and hook yourself a RO machine onto your faucet. Then that'll kind of take care of a lot of it. You know? But we didn't have, you know, that kind of knowledge back then. So we were actually getting jugs of reverse osmosis water out of Deerbergs. 5-gallon jugs of pop.
Yo, so okay. That's a great question. Back then, like, because you had to be so secretive about things. So where would you go to get your grow supplies from?
It's no longer where it used to be, but a lot of my grow supplies came from a location, hydro, I forget the name of it, but it used to actually be on right off of Olive over by where the old Saints roller rink.
Yeah.
Do you know where I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's not too far away from St. Louis County Police Department.
Yeah.
So we always went there for all of our supplies. They had great growing tea. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They had great supplies. They actually moved out to, I think they moved out to Wentzville. But since then, I've had to, you know, pretty much order anything that I would need offline.
Okay.
Which is pretty easily accessible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The thing that's kind of weird is that at the time, it was hard to find tops with the larger cup openings, so you had to go ahead and cut them yourself. You do what you have to do.
Exactly.
They already had the circles in them, so you just cut around and you can do what you got to do. But we used to have all kind of equipment, man, hydrometers, keeping the humidity in check. Because we all know, you know, spring, summer, you're going to have high humidity, winter, low humidity.
Right.
You know, trying your best to go ahead and keep that baby going all the way until that amber color gets on those trichomes and it's time to go cut her down. You know, so it was a lot of fun. We learned a whole lot. But then once everything became legal, we found some local sourcers and we were like, man, you know, if we really want to, we always can. But the folks that are around here locally were just doing it so much better.
Got you.
I mean, and when I say better, I mean, you know, the trim was better. You know, the overall curing. Because don't get me wrong, I mean, we were very happy with what we grew. So was everybody else. But I mean, it's the difference between sitting down and, you know, doing your trim by hand versus doing it by maybe a roller trimmer or anything like that.
Yeah, it's a fact.
You know, so you know, their buds look nice.
Yeah, shout out to the trimmers, yo.
Yes, sir. So it was one of those things where, okay, so if we have a local source that we're close with and that we trust, and we know is not, you know, doing anything shady with their cannabis, then why not go ahead and just work with them? Because we had so much more going on.
Right.
You know, we were having to be at events, having to cook food, having to, you know, do birthday parties. You know, we had so much going on to the point where we weren't able to give the time necessary to growing to do it.
That makes sense.
Because it takes. You have to have time.
Oh yeah, it takes a lot of time.
It doesn't matter how many self-watering, you know, machines you get, you still got to check that water. You still got to make sure you don't have root rot. You still got to make sure that you checking every day.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna suffer that horrible feeling of smelling that horrible root rot and know that you got a problem.
Yeah.
You know, and even within that, you know, we learned, okay, well, you don't have to throw the plant out. You know, you cut off the root, the bad root, And the kind of hack we learned is use yourself some peroxide, some hydrogen peroxide. And what we learned is, as a result of doing that, we did a wash with hydrogen peroxide on the root bulb, and then after that put it in brand fresh new water and some it just escaped me. Seaweed. Liquefied seaweed. What we learned about liquefied seaweed is that it's a great healing agent for plants. So if you have a time where maybe your buds have gotten too thick and you haven't tied them up yet, because maybe you got some that may be a little bit weaker than others, what if it breaks? Well, sometimes we've done it where we can go ahead and tie that branch up, utilize that seaweed, and it'll literally heal itself back. Give it about 2-3 days. So it's we've learned a lot, and we played music for our plants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We loved up on them, because in the end, if you love up on them, they're gonna go ahead and give you love back.
Yeah. I've heard about putting shrimp tails in the compost.
The shrimp tails have I forget the name of the material, but it's very good for growing. Yeah. Just like shells, the shells from the shellfish, grind those up, and those are also good too. Okay. Banana peels. Yeah. Different things like that when you're doing soil. Yeah. If you're doing like high hydro, usually you can end up doing a liquefaction and therefore having a tea that you can put in, and your plants always will love you for it.
Exactly. Yeah. So, them compost teas are essential.
Sure.
Love that, yo. That's fire, yo. So what got y'all inspired with the cooking? Like, what, even before y'all did before y'all started doing the events, like, where were y'all inspired to do cooking from and all of that?
Well, it was kind of wild. It's like my wife and I moved back here from Oakland, California. And we had lived in Oakland, California for a long time, and then our first child was born. So we decided to move back to St. Louis. We had access to all of our family, all of our friends, and we wanted everybody to be included in our life. And as it turned out, our house ended up being the central point for our family to come for all holidays. We had the grandbaby, so everybody was going to come where we were anyway. Yeah. So we never wanted anyone to come to the house and then not, we don't have food. That's just not how I was raised. Yeah. My grandmothers, both of them on my mother's side and my father's side, they were big on hospitality, big on good food, and I think they were the reason why I grew up so naive, thinking that everybody had access to good food. Mm-hmm. It's just not the case. So we started doing all of the holiday dinners, cooking a lot. Because a lot of times we would have anywhere from 25 to 30 people come through during the day for holidays, whether it be Thanksgiving, whether it be Christmas, Easter, even Halloween. They go out and they do the little, with the kids and go do the trick or treat and come back. And, we got some burgers and hot dogs and things like that for them. Always, I was always on the grill for the family. We doing ribs, we doing pork steaks, chicken, smoked salmon, all types of stuff. Mm. And a friend of mine was just like, dude, you guys should have a restaurant. Like, man, I cook for the people that know me, for the people that appreciate me, but I don't know about cooking for people who I've never met. And he was like, all you have to do is make sure that you guys get your serve safe, get your certifications. But then after that, man, you guys need to be blessing the world with some good food. So, my wife kind of took that to heart, and she was like, let's try, what we got to lose, and we started, cooking for the family and then cooking for birthdays and different stuff. And then finally we were just like, okay, it's time, let's start, and it did start with STL Home Growers. That was our first excursion where we were just like, okay, cool, let's do it. We bought all the equipment, we had we bought warmers, we had the hot dog roller, we had the condiments for all of the salad. And anyone that might have been down there during that time, they know us. We were down there faithfully. I remember one Saturday, man, we were on the way downtown in the middle of a snowstorm.
Damn.
slipping and sliding all the way down Highway 44, but it meant something to us as a family. Me, my son, my daughter, my wife. We had such a good time because it was such a privilege to serve up the people.
Yeah.
A lot of the vendors really appreciated it too, because then they didn't have to leave. All they had to do was go down the hall, see
Get
us.
some food, yeah.
You know what I'm
good,
saying?
yeah.
So they can man their table all day.
Exactly.
long. So it was definitely started there and just continued to grow. And now we're looking towards Father's Day. Vintage Hill will be doing a Father's Day here on the 21st. Here at Vintage Gold, 7164A Manchester Avenue, Maplewood, Missouri. So we're really hopeful. All of you fathers, go ahead and look out for the next push out from Instagram, from Facebook. It'll direct you to our Eventbrite page. You can go ahead and reserve yourself a seat and get pampered and feel good on Father's Day. It's going to be a real honor to go ahead and serve you guys.
Hey, I love it. I love it.
As far as Puff Family Snacks is concerned, though, we'll be doing the food for the STL Night Vintage Fest. That'll be happening here at Vintage Gold on the 22nd, on May 22nd. We also have our own event happening here on the 29th. And we have a special sesh going on this upcoming Saturday. Be here. Starts at 7 o'clock. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have live performances. I'll be here. We'll be here. Rocking and rolling, having a really good time. So you all are invited, 7 p.m. this upcoming Saturday night.
Hell yeah. And I mean, by the time this comes out, we'll be able to confirm it, whether or not, but for right now, we're going to go ahead and say the official food vendor for the Two Funny Times Vintage Gold Showcase happening on June 12th will be Puff Family Snacks. So y'all make sure we're going to have some fire food up for y'all.
Thank you.
Y'all already know it's going to be a vibe.
Appreciate the opportunity.
That's right. Y'all already know we got Saks Homegrown serving up the flour and the concentrates that night, and then we'll have South City Bites with the edibles. So it's going to be a fire-ass night. Y'all already know. That's the vendor side of things. And as far as the artists go, y'all already know. We got Andres Mendoza, we got comedian KB, we got Mike Franchise for the stand-ups, and then for the improv, we got Kissing Booth, and we closing out the night with Unc and Neff. So y'all already know, y'all definitely got to come through and check that out.
That's gonna be the bomb right there.
Oh yeah,
That sounds like it's gonna be live.
Yeah, for sure. This is the first of the monthly showcase that I'll be putting on here at Vintage Gold. So I'm excited for all of this.
So y'all already know this is the place.
Yeah.
Y'all need to be here.
That's a fact. It's good. Plan on it to be every second weekend of the month. Every second Friday of the month. That's the plan. So, make sure to be on the lookout. We already getting ready to plan 7-10. You already know that's going to be the one right there. The B-Day right before that. So, we definitely going to have something special for that July 10th show. Just be ready. Yeah. I already know. But all right, back to business a little bit. So, now we gotta talk a little bit of we gotta have a little fun with it now. So we had a little smoke talk now. So now we get to talk about your favorite strains and stuff like that. So give me your top 3 favorite strains.
Top 3 favorite strains. Green Crack.
That's a good one.
Blue Dream.
Oh man, yeah, you hitting all the good ones. Yeah.
And Purple Haze.
Okay.
So I got 2 sativa leaning and one indica leaning. Yeah.
I don't think I've had Purple Haze before. I've had a lot of hazes, but I haven't had Purple Haze yet.
It's the reason I enjoy it is because it gives you both the head and the body high. Okay. And it doesn't take too long to kick in. And if it's grown right and it's cured right, it's really hard to eat off.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you guys know this, but sometimes real smokers, they'll even hold off from eating because they don't want to eat off that good high. Purple Haze, you're gonna have a hard time with that.
Really? Okay. I'm about to check it out then.
You got to. Those are legacy strains. You got to do that.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's what I be trying to look for nowadays. Everybody be trying to come up with the new shit, or always I got the newest. Nah, bring back some of that fire, yo. Cause we need that. We need that lineage still. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to make new shit, but I feel like we be running through fads too much. Some of this stuff is tried and true, and it needs to stay like that.
Well, and it's really, you hard pressed to kind of find legacy strains nowadays. It's when everything became legal, you could find, Acapulco Gold, stuff like that.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
As time went on, it's like those strains kind of disappeared. And now you go Lollipop Haze and crazy stuff like
exactly,
that. And I'm like, well, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I've brought, two plants together and made something nice. But let's be real. Whenever something is made legal, it's a free ticket for the scientists to have their way with it.
That's true.
And not everybody utilizes the most natural and homeopathic ways of doing things. And no one can tell me that won't show up somehow or another 10 years from now. Have you smoked such and such, and you might be eligible for, financial compensation. I don't want to get that. Because at that moment, financial compensation isn't going to keep me from being sick or broke down or unhealthy.
That's right.
So I'd rather go ahead and go as much of a healthy way, as I can.
Yeah, it's too late by then.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where, I feel like, all of these hybrids and all of the science that's going into coming up with the latest and greatest in the end may be our demise. So having an opportunity, first and foremost, I would tell anyone that truly enjoys and loves cannabis, everyone should grow at least once.
Yeah.
Just once.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Go through the experience, enjoy your own hard work. It's a plant. It was given to us from the Most High. So enjoy it. And then I would tell everyone to know what to look for. You know what I mean? I don't know about anyone else, but I have to say this. So I hope I don't step on anybody's toes when I do say this. Some people like to spray terpenes on their bud. The problem with that is that a lot of times it causes anxiety. It's not natural. If that's for you, that's cool. Do what you do. That's not for me. And that's not for anyone that I want in any of my events. I don't want you to come to one of my events and have an anxiety attack at my event. I want you to come and have a good ass time. I want you to enjoy yourself. I want you to enjoy yourself so much to the where this is the place that you think about coming over any place else because it's safe. There's security. There's free parking. It's in a good part of town where there's not a whole lot of drama popping off. Mm-hmm. So I want people to feel safe. I don't want to ever have anything in my environment, around my environment, that will make anyone that comes to my event feel anything but special and comfortable. Facts. One of the biggest reasons why a lot of ladies come out to our events is because they feel comfortable. We always have security over in the corner and out front. They don't ever feel like they have anything to worry about. And whenever it's time for them to, they feel like it's time for them to go home, we walk them outside to their car, as we should.
Exactly.
As they deserve.
Yeah.
But, it's one of those things where I want people to have a good time at our events and don't want them or never have anything at my event that will cause anybody any negativity. So that's why I say, hey, watch out. After you've grown, you know what to look for.
Yeah.
You actually know what a bud looks like, before it's been trimmed. A lot of people don't understand. It's like the stuff you get in them jars is not actually your bud. Mm-hmm. If you knew how much they cut off.
Exactly. But some of that though is for you don't want all that harshness too though.
True. But for me, I tell you what I used to enjoy. When we go ahead and trim our bud, I love taking the shake. Yeah. And everybody's like, oh man, what you doing with that shake? That's the emergency. No, they don't understand. The trichomes are sitting on the outside portion of the bud. Don't get me wrong, they're still on the inside. Yeah. But on the outside, that's where you got the primo stuff. So you trim your bud up and you get that shake, that's powerful. Yeah. So that whole stigma of, the shake is, no, if it's the trim off of your buds, you should keep that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I always do.
For sure. And then here's what else was cool too. When we do harvest, we would always end up having all of that resin on our fingers. Mm-hmm. And we would go ahead and roll get enough of it. Yes, sir. We would roll it up and then put it in that paper and that would be the fruits of our labor. Yeah. So everyone needs to experience that, and I tell you, it's not something I wish on anyone, but everyone's going to have to experience that failure. Yeah. Where that plant dies and you're struggling to keep it alive. You got to go through that to understand that you got to know when to fold it. Yeah. So like I said, the growing has been fantastic, but I tell you, it's a lot of work. So I can't tell you I miss it. But if things keep going the way they're going, where they want to do all of these hybrids and continue to do all the science, then yeah, it might be time to go back. Go back, get some legacy strains, continue to clone them out. You know, we were blessed, like our very first plant that we really started, growing. We actually got the seeds from right outside of Kingston, Jamaica.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we went there on a vacation, and it was kind of funny. It's like, we got the seeds out of the goodness that we were smoking when we were down there, and I was like, man, I wish I could bring these seeds back. And my beautiful wife looks at me and she said, that's all I really need to know. And I said, what are you about to do? She said, you don't want to know. All I know is when we got back here, we had them seeds.
That's what's up.
And thankfully enough, they we went ahead and did old school. We went in and put them in between some wet napkins.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And let them burst. And it only took about 3 or 4 days, but they were really strong.
Yeah.
And we didn't really know the strain because we didn't really know the strain that we were smoking on. Because back then it wasn't legal in Jamaica.
Exactly.
It's legal now, but it wasn't legal then. And it was wild because it was a very strong plant. Mm-hmm. And it was odd in the fact that it enjoyed high humidity. Like normally I like to keep humidity around about 35. It was flourishing at 42. So I was like, wow, okay, well, this is different. Well, it kind of makes sense. If towards the mountains in Jamaica, that's a lot of humidity. Yeah. But that's also where they grow a whole lot.
Exactly.
And and you're getting really good.
Get that fire, yo.
Yes, sir. So it's one of them things where we grew it once, and I caught it just before we went ahead and took it to light and dark, and cloned it.
I love this. See, I got married in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Man.
You know what's up.
Yeah.
You know what's up.
I want to go back so bad and do like a whole tour.
You got to. And I would suggest this. If you're wondering about a place where we went to, was in Lucia, and it was excellent. It's called the Palladium, and it's all inclusive. And we got some of the most amazing meals, had some of the most amazing times. The freaking rum punch was ridiculous, but it was very, very reasonable. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they kept up the grounds, and the people there were beautiful and nice.
No, see, I'm trying to go into the mountains where all the weed is. Like, I'm trying to find me some Rastafarians.
No. They have tours.
Oh.
They have tours. So when you're ready to go, because it's legal there now.
Right.
So when you're ready, you go to the concierge. They'll go and hook you up with a travel person, and you can work it all out. They got tours. Like last time we went to Jamaica, me and my wife went on a tour that took us through Negril, Ochos Rios. Then we went to this huge bar. It's extremely well known. But Rick's, well, we did go to Rick's Cafe. You're exactly right. We did go to Rick's Cafe. It was the coldest experience ever. I'd never seen so many people in such a groove. Like everybody was on the same page. Everybody was about kicking it, whether you were in the pool, whether you were outside of it, no matter where you were. Everybody was there to have a good time. Yeah. Now, what was wild was they got a little hut across the street from Rick's where you can get brownies and goodness before you go into Rick's. Quite convenient.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
They knew what it was when they sang no. Mm-hmm. That's hard. I like that.
So yeah, I mean but one thing about it is that if you really want to smoke,
you get it.
Well, if you really want to smoke, what I've learned about traveling internationally is that you instinctively know how to move. You're not going to be stupid. Mm-hmm. But you're going to ask around to the folks that may know.
Yeah.
The bellhops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to talk with the waiters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because those are individuals that are not too afraid to talk about it.
Exactly.
But you're not going to ask the manager. You know what I'm saying? You'll ask your maid, but you're not going to ask her supervisor. You know what I'm saying? So you know how to move. So like even when we had an opportunity to go to Mexico, and we was all worried about it. Like, man, what we gonna do? Because I ain't going to jail in Mexico. Mm-hmm. Man, they got new vapes that are majority plastic, and only a very small portion of it is metal.
So you get it through.
You know.
Yeah.
We was good.
Yeah.
Real good.
Yeah. See, I want to see what. Well, I mean, most of the flour that's here is from Mexico. So shit. I agree. I want to say what it tastes like, but I mean, I want to know what it's like when you get like the actual fire from down there, like when you.
For sure. And that's the thing. It's like because we already had that vape, we didn't really have to have those discussions.
Yeah.
But I'm very sure that they were happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because that's what, let's face it, I mean, as bellhops, as some of the folks taking care of the facility, they get a lot of bread from that. They that's that extra money.
Yeah,
and I can't hate on that at all because you satisfying a need.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful for you and I appreciate you.
Yeah. FedEx. Okay, so I got another question for you. Sorry. All right, so if you were to have the ultimate munchie meal, how would you create it? What all would be a part of it?
We already have. It's called the Big Back Nachos. if anybody has ever had the Big Back Nachos, we've already solved that mystery. There is no question about that. We hold that title currently, for the best damn nachos you've ever had.
Hey.
Just to let you know, yes sir. Just to let you know, Big Back Nachos. All right, this is how we do it. We're gonna take a huge bed of the chips. We're gonna go ahead and take meat first. All right.
Pause.
You said pause. I'm like, I'm paused.
I know you can go.
So here's the thing. You got choices. We try to take care of everybody. We got beef. We got chicken. We also got vegan protein. If you get Big Bag, get 2. Now, if you're vegan, you're probably gonna double up on the vegan protein. But we like to do things in layers. All right. So depending on whichever protein you want, like if you do Big Bag and you do beef and chicken, we'll go ahead and take the beef, we put it on top of the chips, and we're gonna go ahead and cover it all with that beautiful cheese. We're gonna go ahead and take that chicken, and we're gonna cover that all with that beautiful cheese. Then we're gonna give you an opportunity to have every single condiment we got on deck. And everybody knows has ever had anything from us, no, we got it all. We got cilantro, we got black beans, we got corn, we got the pickled onions. That's only from us. That ain't something we buying out of the store. That's from us.
Fresh made.
You know what I'm saying? So, and we got the shredded cheese. We got the jalapenos. We also got the lime that you got to put on the side. It's not right if you don't have lime.
Oh shit!
So that's the ultimate munchie meal. You can only get that here from us. We've solved the mystery.
That's right. Come get your backs big with Puff Family snacks. Ooh,
swollen.
That's right. I'm about to get some of them myself. Shit.
Like even tonight, tonight's content night.
Yeah.
Right? So we wanted to go ahead and make sure everybody had an opportunity to have what we, have for the mothers. Mm-hmm. So tonight we've got sugar pearl waffles and sausage. You know what I'm saying? So, we always trying to be different, breakfast for dinner. So
okay.
We're trying to do it different every chance we get.
Hell yeah, I love that. Definitely. I'm about to check some of that out once we get done with this. Shoot.
You got to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so now, let's say you got top 5 people dead or alive. You want to have the ultimate smoke session. So we already know you're going to have the Big Bag Nachos on deck. But we also need to know, like, what's the musical vibe that you're going to have? And I need to know that top 5 dead or alive, who you going to have there at your session.
Dead or alive. Mm-hmm. This is gonna sound crazy, but because of a lot of different, things that I enjoy from this individual. First one, top one, my most favorite artist of all time, James Brown. I'd love to have a session with him.
Oh yeah.
I think I'd learn a lot that nobody knows, and probably hear a whole lot of things that I couldn't really understand.
You might want to check his blunt though. That's all I'm saying before you hit that. It might be a little different.
For sure. I'm rolling my own. Nah, James, I'm rolling my own. Baby.
You go get it. I already know. Shout out Big Cuz in the background, Mike Franchise.
For sure, Mike Franchise. Shout out. But number 2 would probably be the Gap Band. Just because I grew up on their music, I grew up on a vibe. It was always very it's a groove you can't really get out from under.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's something that sits heavy on you and something you can't help but move your head to.
Yeah. See, I got family in Tulsa, so I got to see Black Wall Street and all of that. Yeah. Shout out Charlie Wilson.
Yeah, you already know.
For sure.
And I think last but not least, if I could, Funkadelic. Clinton.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. That would be the bomb. Just because they started it all, not necessarily from a cannabis standpoint, everybody was smoking cannabis back then and doing everything else.
I was going to say you picked a pretty eclectic group over here, dog. You was all right, man. Yeah, y'all trying to get more than 2T3rp, boy. Yeah. Y'all trying to get too lit for real. Damn.
We're trying to have a good time, man. You only got one life to live, bro. You only come through here once.
That's
you know
a fact.
What I mean?
That's a fact.
So that's why it's like, when you say, those top folks are now top 5, right? So that's my top 3. Number 4 would probably be one of my favorite actors, and that's Carl Weathers.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Action Jackson. I loved everything that he was in and everything that he did. I feel like I would have loved to have seen more of him. And probably my very final person, but I doubt if he smokes, is James Earl Jones.
I don't know. I feel like he.
You think James smokes?
Yeah. How you think you got that Darth Vader voice?
Hey, man.
That's smoker voice right there.
But someone that iconic, don't get me wrong. I love him for Darth Vader, but all of his work, everything that he's done is just, and that's the thing, those foundational black folks, man, really put together works of art that we can feed off of and that we have fed off of.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So it's like those individuals right there, that would be my top 5. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, if I ever had the opportunity to go back in time, and don't get me wrong, I would want to have that session with them in their youngest days, not their oldest.
Yeah.
When they were young, my age.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
shit, I don't know. Them as OGs, that might be something too. Shit.
Yeah, at that moment, you're trying to just glean any type of game you can off of them cats.
That's a fact. Shit, that's lit. Yeah. But this has been a dope episode, though. For real.
Thankful for the opportunity, man, and thankful that we made it to this point. I've been waiting for it, man, and when you reached out to me, man, I wasn't ready. I think I forgot about it, and then I was like, man, hook or crook, I'm gonna be there no matter what.
That's right.
So very thankful for the opportunity. Thankful to let everybody know, hey, we're here, we exist, we're here for you, and we're here to provide a great time. You know what I mean? It's like, thankful for the opportunity to provide, hopefully provide food on your occasion.
For sure.
And just, thankful to be here for the comedians, thankful to be here for content night and continue to provide, just good food, good snack food, good munchy food, and being a blessing in that respect. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
You already know. All right, now, Faye, let them know where to find you at.
If you guys want to go ahead and keep in touch with us, go ahead and find us on Instagram, Puff Family Snacks. We're on Facebook in the same respect. We also got a website for each one of our brands. So vintage-hill is our website, .com. And we also got pufffamilysnacks.com and pufffamily.com. So we appreciate any and every type of opportunity it is to go ahead and make anybody's life better by just being around and enhancing folks' lives and enriching lives with better food and better events and occasions.
For sure. Y'all already know. And y'all already know you can find 2T3rpd on all socials. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Make sure you follow that website, 2funnyproductions.com. Tickets will be on sale on the website exclusively very soon, hopefully within the next couple of days. So definitely keep posted. We'll make some posts on social media. But, like I said, we're making the announcement here, so get ready. And
so, bruh,
go ahead.
We got a big bag ready for you, right?
Yeah?
Yeah, so that night when we there, come through, get it.
Okay, all right. You already know.
Be ready,
big bags on deck.
Yeah, don't eat nothing.
All right.
Don't come here and get scared.
All right, never that. I ain't never scared now. I ain't never scared. Come on. I'm going to do that. Ain't nothing to it. For sure. And don't forget to follow me, Donovan 2408, on all social media platforms. But you already know, it's been another one. We'll see y'all next week. Peace. All right, hold on.
You know what it was when you signed up.
Hey.
It's Too T3rpd.